Welcome to our new course, which is about embracing your dark side. This is about accepting your shadow and uncovering the hidden self. What is the shadow? We will learn in due time in this course. Now, let me start with telling you my own experience. I sat down to do my own healing, which regression and a lot of other therapy was not able to heal. At the time, I was confused and I was worried and frustrated because I had no idea how to heal myself and how it would be. But then, when I came to this course and I did this healing and this modality about embracing my dark self, then my own personal transformation happened, which was very radical and really very touching and heart opening. So, when this happened to me, I felt a very deep longing that I should teach this process, which had changed my life. I had suffered for many years trying to become a better person and be a better person. And I wanted to believe in myself, have the courage to ask what I wanted, and live a life which mattered. I wanted to wake up every morning with a smile on my face and know that I was loved and that I belonged. I was desperate to feel worthy. I was hungry for the opportunity to live my fullest. The pain inside me was more than I could bear until the day I met my real self, my whole self, my true authentic self. I was so shocked at the time because I thought that the self which would give me everything that I wanted would be a perfect new self, a perfect new me, replacing the old me that I used to hate. I did not like at all. I absolutely did not like it. My desire to heal led me to search through every form of self-help. Like I said, I did try regressions and a lot of other therapies too. That whatever I could find, I tried it. I never gave up, even though I had no idea how I would heal eventually. But one day I saw a glimmer, just a glimmer of the self that I was looking for. And that's the day when I had this startling realization that what I was looking for already existed within me. It was already inside me. That is the day I found my true whole self. I was so confused and surprised at the same time because it didn't come from actually getting rid of the self that I knew. Because that's what we all think, that what we do not like or what doesn't work or what is not nice, we get rid of and replace it with something else. But it did not come from eliminating parts of myself or burying them deep within my consciousness. In fact, it came from the most unlikely place imaginable. I found gold hidden in my own darkness, and that there was light hiding behind my bad behavior, and there was power hidden in my own traumas. It was that day, the day that I will never forget, when I understood that my job was not to get rid of everything that I had perceived which was wrong or bad about myself. In fact, the opposite was true. I had to take my most human self and transform her into the most extraordinary self. It was about loving myself, my flawed self also, which made me whole. And then I became whole, happy, silly, loving, passionate, and an incredibly worthy woman. It was all within me, my human self, my flawed self, and my divine self. I finally understood what true love really felt. It was not a love that requires another human being to love you, but a loving, trusting, and respectful relationship with my own self. So, this is what true love is. True love doesn't need another human being, but it needs you. It needs a loving, trusting, and respectful relationship with your own self. It is a love without any conditions, an unconditional love, a love which holds no regrets, no resentments. It is non-judgmental. It is a love that offers compassion rather than critical thought. It offers kindness and care rather than self-loathing, self-hating, and internal abuse, like we do often also in passive aggressive behavior. So the process that I went through, this entire process is what I will teach in this course. I realized in that moment of my unhappiness that I had been looking for what was wrong, because that's what we are all conditioned to do, to find out what is wrong, not working, and then replace it with something better or right or what is working. So I was looking in that same with that same conditioning for what was wrong instead of what is right. I had been looking from a space of fear and judgment rather than from love and open-heartedness. I was looking through my own punitive programming, my own punishment programming, instead of my own heart, which was full of compassion and love. And finally, after healing, I found the courage to reclaim my own unique gifts, gifts that each one of us have. We each all have our own unique gifts. And since then, thousands of people from around the world have also done this course, and I can tell you that there is no downside for those who have chosen this path. When you realize that you are made of pure love, your own heart will open and you will finally make peace with yourself. And once you make peace with yourself, then you will be able to make peace with others too. When you start seeing the value of each and every aspect of your own personality, each and every characteristics of your own personality, you will never see yourself or anybody else in the same way. And you will be absolutely delighted, thrilled, excited to be yourself, to be you. This journey has worked for me, and I can tell you it will work for you. You can trust in this process. It is not a process to be feared, but to bask in, to be delighted in, to look forward to. When you finally understand and embrace all of you, you will find that people around you will also benefit. It is a gift that keeps on giving, because people who are in your presence, they will feel better about themselves. Your children, your family, your friends, they will all want to open up and they will want to know what you know, because whether or not we acknowledge it or they acknowledge it, everyone is eventually looking to return to their whole selves, to their own soul. Everyone is looking to feel good about who they are. Each one of us wants to feel good about who we are. Everyone wants to feel valuable. Everyone wants to feel loved and belong. And this is what will be taught in this course, and what you can expect by doing the processes in the course. It is not an easy path to love, something that we have absolutely hated from our core. It's easy to say, it's easier said than done. So if there is something that you absolutely hate or someone that you absolutely hate, and I tell you, okay, go and say I love you to them, or imagine that you are, in your mind that you are saying I love you, it's not easy. It's not easy to love something that we have hated, to love something that we have feared, or to love something that has hurt us and hurt us deeply. It is easier to hold on to that pain of that past rather than to heal. It's not easy to let go. But the future that we deeply desire will only and can only be ours if we are willing to fully heal this pain of our past. We can be the self that we want to be by embracing everything that we are. And whatever we have experienced, we need to embrace all of it. It is very important that you feel whole. It is very important that each one of us feels whole. It is in this place of truth that we can emerge from the darkness as an expression of our own selves. By accepting our darkest feelings and our most judgmental selves, gives us that internal strength which is absolutely priceless. It is something that cannot be bought or inherited. It is not something that can be accessed in any other way. It just cannot be accessed in any other way. There is no shortcut to it. We can get it only and only by traveling through the darkness of our own internal biases and prejudice into the light of unconditional self-love. So take a deep breath in and out and give yourself the permission to transform into the greatest expression, the greatest you, because you truly, truly deserve it. Let me tell you a little about myself. I never felt good about myself as a child. In fact, there were times when I really hated being myself. I absolutely hated who I was. And I thought I was the only one in the world who was not able to make friends. I thought this would change when I grew up, but nothing much changed even when I grew up. Then one day I found myself in a workshop. And there the trainer told me, or rather the trainer told all of us, that all your so-called faults, all the things that you don't like about yourself are actually your greatest assets. They are simply over-amplified. For example, when you have a radio and you can listen to absolutely wonderful music and it will make you feel absolutely peaceful and calm. But this same radio, if you increase the volume really high, then you get a screeching sound like an, and that becomes really, really annoying, and in fact it becomes painful. Not even annoying, it becomes painful. So in the same way, when we over amplify something, then it becomes painful. So that's what she was trying to tell us, that all your so-called faults, all the things that you don't like about yourself are your greatest assets, but they are over amplified. The volume has been turned up. That is all that is. And all you have to do is to turn down the volume a little. So from that, you can go back to lovely, peaceful, beautiful, calming, soothing music. And soon you will see that you and everyone else will see your weaknesses as your strengths, your negatives as your positives. They will work for you. Your negatives, they will work for you rather than against you. All you have to do is call these personality traits in appropriate amounts and only give as much of these wonderful qualities as are needed, and not more, not less, not more. When I learned this, I felt like I was struck by lightning. I had never heard anything like this before, and I knew somewhere that this was the truth. My coming on strong was also an asset because it was telling me about my own leadership ability, my willingness to step to the line. I realized that these qualities which I was not ready to accept or I felt were bad or negative were also those which have been praised for at one time or another. So it wasn't any surprise that I was totally and absolutely confused. It was only then when I looked at my shadow side, that's when I started seeing why others sometimes call these my negative behaviors. And then I started seeing the gift in each one of them. All I had to do was to use these behaviors a little differently. Not repress them, not suppress them, and definitely not disown them. Simply use them differently. I now understand that I need to first notice and then blend all the aspects of who I am. All that I and others have called positive and that which I and others have called negative into one whole. So all these aspects I need to notice and then blend into one whole. So this comes from me. Do these processes in this course carefully. Do it once. Do it a second time. Do it a third time. Do it as many times as you can. I dare you. I challenge you to do all the processes completely, thoroughly and finish this course. Of course, don't do the course or the processes if you don't want your life to change, because it is impossible to experience this course without experiencing shifts in your life. If you want to live a life of visibility, where there is nothing hidden and nothing denied, where you are proud of yourself, proud of who you are and what you are, and where you can love yourself completely. Not even those parts that you don't want to look at, much less acknowledge. because this course will take you to everlasting joy and inner peace, to a place of self-love which is so vast that you will finally find the space to unconditionally love yourself and thereby love others too. And once this cycle begins, you will change not only your own life, but you will also truly change the world, because once things change for you, it will automatically change for the other. For example, somebody is not behaving correctly with you because there is an aspect of you that you have disowned. The minute you own it and embrace it, they don't need to behave that way, because that aspect doesn't need to remind you about it anymore, and then it will automatically change. So with this, we come to the end of the introduction of this course, Embrace Your Dark Side. Once again, I tell you, I request you, I dare you, and I challenge you to take this course and do the processes completely and thoroughly with an absolute open mind. So come, join me today in this journey of Embrace Your Dark Side. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much.